You know, I never thought a simple town hall meeting in Willow Creek, Montana, could turn into the kind of showdown that exposes someone's true colors, but there I was, watching old Colonel Harlan Brooks let out this harsh, mocking laugh that cut through the room like a knife, zeroing in on the scars running down Lisa Harper's face and arms, scars that made her look like she'd been through hell. And he just couldn't resist turning her into the butt of his joke in front of every veteran in the county. What he didn't know, and man, it hit him like a freight train later, was that those marks weren't from some accident or bad luck. They were badges from one of the gutsiest rescues in recent Army history, pulling her squad out of a burning convoy under enemy fire in Kandahar. And by the time her Silver Star tattoo peeked out from under her sleeve, Harlan had dug his own grave in that room full of folks who'd served just like him. Some wounds heal over time, sure, but the kind of bravery they stand for, that sticks around forever, outshining every medal and rank in the place. And yeah, it made me rethink how we judge people based on what we see on the surface. Anyway, let me back up a bit. Truoc het. Neem vu la viet lai ton bo noi dung dua trend don y ton kitsch ban voiceover cho YouTube, koang 15,000 ky2. Kitsch ban phi bang tiang on. Vidon y la tiang on va yukov and fong nu nuoi mai. Yuka chin, van fong. Jong nuoi mai that su, doi thuong. Mok mak, nu kuchian tre neum ko that, kong dok dien van. Kutu ni nu tom su. Lean mok, itngat ka, troi che voi dao fei, gachen gang, ba cham. Jong kuduyen dong. Hai hoak doi cho, sao sak, chow treo va lang lai. Kai thok noi tom, nan vat chin sao sak. Sung trung tom, leo tang. Them nan vat fu hok, chi teet de tang chiu sao. Emota tuong tok dien on. Loi tho I sak net. Cam suk gay gat. Mia mai, kitch tin. Ka truck 3 hoi kitch. Bat dao voi sungd. Hook man 3 ka dao. Fan sung bat ngio. Ket tuk bang can tho a man roy ket mo gay tran kai. Moi sung da ko dong ko ro wrong. Chiu sao. Thay doi tin nan vat. Dia diem. Chi teet de doc gwen. Koi kung. Call to action moi ben luan. Chia se quan dmv dung sai. Song ly. Mouth wan song dong. Viet lean mok tu dao den koi. Kong chia fan. Ka chi ngok la vemot nu Cuban hai quan voi seo. By che ju. In hung tuk ra la on hung Navy Cross. Song dong dan nan ra twakan thay doi. Tin nan vat. Dia diem. Chi teet. Vi du. Nan vat chin. Thay Andy Wells ton Sarah Jenkins. Dia diem. Thay Fox Hollow, Texas ton Willow Creek, Montana. Fan Diane. Thay Colonel Frank Montgomery, ton Major Tom Hargrove. Kak Nan Vat Kok. Thay Tuong Ong. Ka Truck 3 Hoi. 1. Hoi 1. Bat Dao Voi Sungd. Hookman. Kanche Jutai Kuok Hop Cubin. 2. Hoi 2. Fat Tryon. Fan Sung Bat Ngo. Dan Den Teet Lo. 3. Hoi 3. Ket Tuk Thoa Man. Ket Mo Gay Tran Kai. Ket Tuk Voi Call to Action. Dudai. Koang 15,000 ky2. Koang 2,500 to 3,002. In Hung Tu Neen. Canoe voiceover. Ngoi Thursday Not. Kong. Yuka. Nu Chin Ho Dang Kalai Tre Neum Ko that. In Hung Ka Chien La Vi. Nin Vat Thursday Ba. Ko Lukun Goi Thursday Ba. In Hung Nu Nuoi Kuchien Dang Tom. Su Vi Ka Chien that. Bat Dao Voi Hook Man Trong 3 Ka Dao. Koi Kung. Call to Action. Twakan Kim Trot Sung Siu. Ko the Kin Tool Nu Phi Angian Q. In Hung O De La Viet Lai Dua Trend on Y. Kong Kin Tool. You know, I still remember that night at the Willow Creek VFW Hall, like it was yesterday, the kind of humid Montana evening where the air sticks to your skin, and folks gather to swap war stories over cheap coffee and folding chairs. Major Tom Hargrove, this grizzled old Army vet who's basically run the place like his personal kingdom for years, spots Lisa Harper across the room, her face and arms mapped with these ragged scars that catch the fluorescent light just wrong, and he lets out this barking laugh that echoes off the walls, loud enough for every soul there to hear. Looks like somebody lost a fight with a wood chipper, he sneers, turning to the crowd with that smug grin of his. Like he's the king of clever insults. Little did he know those marks weren't from some clumsy accident, but badges from one of the gutsiest rescues in Air Force history. And by the end of the night, when her distinguished flying cross tattoo peeked out from under her sleeve, Hargrove's ego was about to crash harder than any chopper she'd ever flown. Lisa had moved to Willow Creek 3 years back, trying to outrun the ghosts of her service UC. She'd been a medevac pilot in Afghanistan, pulling wounded troops out of Hellfire zones. But that last mission left her burned and broken, physically and in ways you can't see. She took a job flipping burgers at Eddie's Grill, this little roadside spot where the AC rattles like it's about to give up, and the regulars eye you funny if you're new. Her hands, all puckered and stiff from the shrapnel, moved with this quiet precision as she plated up eggs and hash. But folks couldn't help staring, whispering about that poor woman with the messed up face, kids pointing until their moms shushed them, adults averting eyes like her scars were contagious. It wasn't easy, but Lisa kept her head down, wiping sweat with her wrist to avoid showing more skin, her voice a bit raspy from the smoke. Damage, another souvenir from that day, and she'd tell herself, this is my fresh start, away from the medals and the memories that wake you up screaming at 3 a.m. Her boss, Martha Klein, this tough-as-nails widow in her 60s who'd run the grill since her husband passed, saw right through the tough exterior. She hired Lisa on a recommendation from the VA in Billings, praising her work ethic, and over time, that smile of Martha's turned real, like a mom watching out for a stray kid. Table 4's asking about the new cook, Martha'd say, nodding at some locals nursing coffee, and Lisa'd mutter, they just want to know what blew me up, cracking eggs with this defiant flick. But deep down, it stung the isolation, the judgment based on looks alone, like her value was skin deep. Then there was young Jake Thompson, this lanky 17-year-old working part-time at Riley's Auto down the street, eyes wise beyond his years from growing up in a single-parent home. He'd slide onto a stool, order his usual pancakes, and chat like Lisa was just folks, no pity, no stares, calling her Miss Lisa, with this genuine warmth that made her scarred smile light up, reminding her that not everyone's scared of damage. But Jake's mom, Karen Thompson, boished breeze in with her real estate blazer all pressed, hair perfect, flashing that polite smile that never reached her eyes when they landed on Lisa's face, like the scars offended her tidy world. Jake, we talked about this. There are other places for breakfast, she'd hiss, her discomfort plain as day. Rooted in this small-town fear of anything broken, worried her boy hanging around someone who looked like trouble might rub off, or worse, drag him into some unseen drama. It hurt more than Lisa let on, that rejection not just for her, but seeing Jake's face fall, defending her with a quiet, Mom, Miss Lisa's cool, she treats people right. And then Riley Hayes himself, the 35-year-old mechanic who owned the shop below Lisa's tiny apartment, grease under his nails, easy confidence from building a business on honest. I'd stop by for coffee to go, chat about stubborn engines or impossible customers, and one day, bold as brass, asked, those scars make you careful about trusting folks, not prying, but seeing the wisdom in her eyes, born from betrayal in the field, where teammates who couldn't handle your worst bailed when you needed them most. Sheriff Dan Riley, this solid 58-year-old ex-Marine with a kind glint in his eye, he'd nod respectfully when he came in, uniform crisp, posture straight. He'd heard about Lisa pitching in at Willow Creek Memorial Hospital during a bad wreck on Highway 12. Her skills saving a guy's life, and he'd say, not everyone could handle that trauma like you did. Takes special training. His words probing gently, sensing there was a story there, but never pushing too hard. The tension built slow, like storm clouds over the Rockies, especially when Major Hargrove sauntered in one morning, his 71-year-old frame carrying that old-school arrogance from decades calling shots, eyes raking over Lisa's scars with disgust, like she was spoiling his perfect view. Sheriff, he'd grunt, ignoring her outright, then smirking at the idea of her as a medic. I'm sure she does her best with whatever half-baked training she's got, condescension dripping like syrup, born from his own insecurities, you know, this need to gatekeep the veteran crowd, fearing some outsider might steal his thunder, especially one who looked unfit for his polished club. Lisa felt it brewing, that clash between her hidden past and this town's prying ice. At the hospital, where she worked part-time as a tech, the antiseptic calm was her escape, scars blending in amid the beeps and chaos. Dr. Elena Vargas, this sharp 43-year-old ER doc with coffee stains on her coat, lit up when Lisa showed up. Thank God you're her. He got a pile up coming in, and Lisa dive in, setting up trauma bays with this eerie efficiency, anticipating needs before they were spoken, her hands steady despite the damage. Nurse Betty Harlan, pushing 60 with graying hair and a no-nonsense vibe, watched her clear a chest tube blockage like a pro, muttering, "Where'd you learn that?" "That's not standard tech stuff," Lisa deflect, previous gig. But inside, the memories flooded back, that burning Black Hawk in Hellman, rotors whining, smoke choking her as she dragged out Marine after Marine, 6 trips into the inferno, shrapnel tearing her flesh. But she wouldn't stop, not until all 11 were safe. The nightmares hit hard, yanking her awake in that cramped apartment above Riley's shop, coffee brewing at 4 a.m. To chase the ghosts' voices calling her name across the flames, the radio crackling with final orders, the weight of loss, not just her career, but the identity she'd built in the skies. She sketched health fair plans for the VFW, distraction from the pain, but when the call came to volunteer, her gut twisted. Vets like old Walt Donovan, Korean War survivor with a tremor in his voice but steel in his eyes, and young Bobby Lee, Iraq vet with his own limp. They assessed her like only brothers in arms could, sensing the combat in her scars. Hargrove cornered her. "You a vet?" Tone demanding, rooted in his fear of fakes tarnishing his sacred space, his own service solid but safe, no real fire-tested glory, making him jealous of anyone who might have it. The meeting exploded like a powder keg. Hargrove, red-faced, pounding the table. "Prove it. We don't let just anyone waltz in here claiming cred. Show us your ink, your papers, or get out." His voice booming, crowd murmuring. His motive clear now. This power play to maintain control, scared her quiet strength might eclipse his bluster. Lisa stood, heart pounding, but steady, rolled up her sleeve, the distinguished flying cross tattoo gleaming. Eagle fierce, and the room went silent, Hargrove's face crumpling as Walt whispered, "That's the real deal. Tom, you just mocked a hero who pulled 11 souls from hell." Hargrove stammered, I didn't know, but the damage was done, his apology hollow at first, born from embarrassment, not regret. Yet it cracked him open, forcing him to face his own pettiness, while Lisa felt exposed, raw, but strangely free, the weight lifting as eyes shifted from pity to awe. In the weeks that followed, Willow Creek transformed. Apologies poured in, Karen showing up teary-eyed. "I judged you wrong, Lisa, based on fear, my own hang-ups about perfect. Please forgive me." Her voice breaking, motive exposed as protecting her son from what she saw as trouble, but now seeing strength. The town buzzed, VA calls about benefits, invitations to speak, a scholarship fund in honor of unsung vets funding kids like Jake's EMT dream. She burst in grinning. "Your story got me in. Miss Lisa gonna save lives like you." Hargrove, changed, sponsored her trip to DC for the ceremony, covering costs, his amends real now, admitting over coffee. "I envied what you had the guts. I never tested. I'm sorry, truly." His voice low, vulnerable. Lisa went, stood tall amid the brass, but back home, flipping burgers, consulting on trauma training, she found peace. Scars still there, but now stories of triumph. Community tighter, her inner storm calmed. Yet here's the thing that still nags at me: is Hargrove's comeuppance enough? Or does small-town pride sometimes blind us to deeper biases? What do you think? Have you faced judgment like that in your community, or seen someone rise above it? Drop a comment below, share your take on justice, forgiveness, or those hidden heroes among us. I'd love to hear. And if this hit home, hit subscribe for more real tales that make you think.